From draining buckets with his eyes closed to becoming a massive problem for opposing defenses, here's how Walker Kessler matches up against Rudy Gobert. First, check out the numbers they've posted on the scoreboard. Back when a lot of people didn't know what Walker was capable of, a lot of folks were pretty skeptical of Walker coming into the Jazz in place of Rudy Gobert. It was pretty evident that the Timberwolves weren't happy with Kessler's performance on their squad and decided to call curtains on his run with them. However, it's been an entirely different story ever since he joined the Utah Jazz. He's been draining buckets after buckets and racking up those points. While not a lot of people were convinced back then, everybody's got their eyes on the rookie now. Some might even say that he was better than Rudy Gobert would have been with the Jazz. When it comes to how many points these men are averaging per game, Gobert seems to be ahead. However, looks can be deceiving, and it's important to mention that Kessler is still just a rookie, while Gobert has been in the picture for a while. The mere fact that he's being compared to a rookie should tell you enough. Next, look at which player is more efficient on the court. Once again, on paper, Gobert seems to be ahead. However, the difference is once again the fact that he seems to be posting up numbers similar to a rookie. It's pretty clear that Rudy is falling off the edge of a cliff towards his inevitable decline. In case you haven't noticed, efficiency is all about what you're able to do with the ball in hand. If you're not able to create plays, pass the ball around the right way, well, you're not going to be of much help, are you? When it comes to Walker, he's quickly proven himself to be an integral part of the Jazz lineup, and it looks like he'll be staying there for the foreseeable future. The man is constantly on the move and seems to always be in the right place whenever his teammates are looking for a quick pass. To put things into context, Gobert is 0.1 assists worse than the rookie. I don't know about you, but if a vet on my team is performing worse than the rookie he was traded for, I'd be worried big time. Moving on, who's been getting more rebounds? When it comes to the modern game of basketball, defense is just as important as offense. You can no longer be good at just one thing. You've got to be an all-rounder, no matter what the cost. Fortunately, this is the one area where the veteran seems to be prevailing. He's got Walker beat with a total rebound percentage of 11.5. Hopefully, he'll be able to keep this up for a while because otherwise he's pretty much a dud. Kessler doesn't seem to be doing too bad either. He's got a total rebound percentage of 8.0. For a rookie, that's not that bad. I'd even go as far as to say that this kid is showing an insane amount of potential. He's more focused on defense as opposed to offense. And if I'm being honest, that seems to be working for the Jazz pretty well. They've got a whole system built around this style of play, and Walker seems to be fitting in like a charm. All things considered, I'd say the Jazz got super lucky with this wonder kid. Coming up, let's take a look at how well these dudes set their teammates up to score. As I mentioned before, Walker is the clear victor in the assist department. However, when you talk about steals, this season hasn't been too bad for Rudy Gobert. Sure, he's not going to be winning Defensive Player of the Year anytime soon. Still, he's got his end of the stick covered and seems to be trying his best to make sure he isn't dead weight. Of course, there's a good chance that the Timberwolves will end up benching the dude once Karl-Anthony Towns decides to make a comeback. But until that happens, I'd say Gobert seems to be doing a pretty decent job of staying up on his feet. You could even say that Gobert has managed to even out the scoreboard against Walker with his steal percentage. Again, he's not going to be winning any awards, but this seems to be doing a good enough job of keeping him afloat in the NBA. He's got a decent rebound percentage and steals the ball from the opposition just enough to make sure that the Timberwolves don't throw any blame his way. There's not much more you can expect from a guy at this point. Moving on, all this talk about steals makes you wonder who the better defender is. I have to say it, but Kessler kind of takes this one home. See, you can't just look at their current stats here. You've got to take a look at the bigger picture. Walker is already rivaling Gobert in numbers, which means he's only gonna get better. That's the best news any Jazz fan will have heard all day. They've got a rookie who's managing 0.4 steals a game. To top it off, he's also managing to pull off 2.2 blocks in every game he's played so far. Gobert, on the other hand, has fallen short in the blocks department and has only managed to come up with 1.3 blocks per game. When you take into account the fact that not being able to block kind of ruins your whole image as a defensive player, you quickly realize how vital it is in today's game. While Gobert might have been able to catch up a few years ago, it's clear that he's way past his prime and things are only going to go downhill from here. Next, let's try to figure out who the better center is. This is a question that a lot of you have probably been wondering. I mean, I get it. We could talk about their stats all day, but you have to wonder who the better player is. In my opinion, Walker is the clear winner here. He's got the skills to make sure he gets enough playing time and is turning out to be a gold mine for the Utah Jazz. While a lot of us originally thought that this wasn't a good trade to make, we can now see how good Walker is. The kid is a natural and easily rivals Gobert in terms of size and strength. Couple that with the fact that he's better at his job and you've got a new cowboy in town. Sure, Rudy Gobert is still ranked way higher than Kessler Walker when it comes to the best centers in the league. However, considering Walker's only played one season in the NBA and he's already made such an impact, well, it makes him a goddamn hero in my book. He's single-handedly making sure the Jazz fans get their money's worth every time they come out to watch him play. Moving on, who's the bigger asset right now? Alright, if you're a Rudy Gobert fan, this one's gonna sting a little. I'm not even gonna try and sugarcoat it. It's obvious that Gobert is nearing the end of his career, and honestly, he looks done for. He doesn't seem to be all that motivated to chase buckets either. If anything, he's dead weight and can't be considered an asset no matter how you look at the situation. Sure, there was a time when Gobert could have been considered one of the best centers in the league. However, now he's a shell of his former self. The worst part is, there's not much he can do about it. He just gets beaten down by Father Time, and all one can do right now is hope that he manages to stay afloat for a few more years before he's forced to kick the bucket. Kessler, on the other hand, is doing great in his rookie season. I mean, just look at the stats. He managed to play 6 more games than Gobert. That alone is a sign that there's a new sheriff in town. Finally, it's time to figure out whether this trade was even worth it for the Timberwolves. I don't think I need to say much here, but if y'all insist, I'll spill. Look, it's no secret that the Timberwolves gave up a lot to get a hold of Rudy Gobert, and well, they didn't get a whole lot in return. While they were hoping to get some help from the veteran, it's clear that he's a washed-up baller who doesn't have much left in the tank. On the other hand, it's pretty clear that the Utah Jazz ended up winning big time. They managed to score an insanely talented rookie center and got a few first-round draft picks as a bonus. That's not all though, so they even managed to get a few more players thrown in the mix for free. So no matter how you look at it, Walker Kessler was a massive win for Jazz, and they'll be patting themselves on the back for a long time to come. It's important to note that Kessler is already ranked as a 14th position center in the league, and this is just his first season. There's no telling what kind of havoc he'll wreak as his career continues to flourish. So overall, Walker Kessler takes the win in this competition. That's it for this video.